Hi everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Regenesis Talks today, LinkedIn Live episode of 140. Today we are discussing on the topic of innovative empowering employees to contribute to. We have the honor of having Thomas, Rajiv, and Sunil to discuss on this topic. Without further ado, bringing our speakers on to the dais. Hi
Thank you,
Thomas,
Prem.
hi Rajiv, hi Sunil. Welcome to the
Hi,
podcast.
Prem. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello, Prem. Thank you very much indeed. And welcome, everybody. It's great to have you here for our podcast this time. We're diving into a topic that's not just important, but we believe crucial for your success and your organization's success. And today's title is Innovate, Empowering Employees to Contribute. Whether you're a manager, executive director, or entrepreneur, today's discussion will give you powerful tools to unlock your hidden potential within your organization. Now, before we dive into the nuts and bolts, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Thomas Welsh, and joining me today are my brilliant colleagues from India, Prem, Rajiv, and Sunil. Together, we have over 130 years of collective experience in empowering businesses to innovate and grow. And today, we're here to share our deepest insights with you, as usual, in this LinkedIn livecast. So, why empowerment matters? Well, let's start with a bold statement. Most organizations, that's 84 to 98% of organizations, are only achieving 16 to 26% of their present potential. Think about that for a moment. What would it mean for your business if you could tap into the other 74% to 84%? Now, imagine the growth, the revenue, and the success you could achieve. It's not just possible, it's attainable, and it starts with empowerment. Empowering your employees to contribute innovative ideas isn't just a feel-good strategy, it's a proven path to adding an extra 1 to 2% of recurring revenue every month in Regenesis. That might sound small, but of course, over a year, that's 12 to 24%. And over a decade, we're talking an extra 120 to 240% additional revenue in addition to whatever you're doing already. However good you are, however successful you are already, big, small, new, old, that's the kind of difference this kind of thing makes. And for those in management roles, this kind of impact on the bottom line can significantly enhance your career trajectory and, of course, your salary. So how do we get there? How do we empower our teams to innovate? Well, let's explore. So what is empowerment? Kick things off. Consider these two questions. What do we mean by empowerment? To give somebody the power to do something. How do you gain the power to, and how did you gain the power to innovate? Did anyone ever give you that power? When you're empowered to innovate, you master three things. 1, ideation. 2, the application of that ideation. And 3, turning the application, the work that you do following having the idea into a contribution that makes a difference to your customers, to your organization, and ultimately to your salary. And today we'll break down each of these, sharing real-world strategies that you can implement right away. So let's go to the first pillar, and this is ideation. And I'm going to ask Rajiv to come onto the stage to tackle this. So, Rajiv, how did you learn to excel in this crucial first step of innovation, the ideation stage?
Thanks, Thomas. Of course, ideation is the heart and soul for all the startup ecosystem, which is moving around and for every organization. So people who are actually focusing on this area, who are actually too much, focused on the ideation aspect of it, are always successful. I've seen people who actually work in this in a very proper with proper attention. They are setting examples for themselves in the corporate world. So it is not all about generating creative ideas or solutions, but it's not just a free for all brainstorming session. There are some ground rules for its effectiveness, and let's talk about them. So one, of course, is a brainstorming. You have to set clear objectives and encourage wild ideas, but always stay focused on the problem at hand. Because sometimes I have seen people in the brainstorming sessions, they go haywire, and the discussion actually loses focus. The idea is to actually be very focused on the problem which we are talking about. So that is where I think the crucial aspect of managing the brainstorming session comes, and that is where the moderator or the person who's driving that session comes in, and they have to make sure that the ideation aspect of brainstorming is done properly and effectively, and it delivers results. Second most important aspect, of course, is lateral thinking. So this is about thinking outside the box. uh, Gone are the days when organizations don't encourage people to think out of the box. Now, actually, lots of leaders and managers, they make sure that their people are given room for thinking out of the box, and it is encouraged. So, using unconventional approaches to problem solving is something which is uh, much in vogue in various corporate bodies and various corporates. And I have seen people are actually uh, using those innovative techniques for problem solving, which are not heard of before. And that is where you can actually lead your organization to create a situation where you can move faster than the others. And that is what we at Regenesis talk about always, that how to implement the ideas in such an effective way that you can actually outsmart the competitors, you can outsmart the people you are dealing with, and try and develop that lateral thinking aspect within your organization. And it will really help. It will boost the confidence and morale of the people who are working, and also it will actually add to the speed of the organization. Then comes the focusing on creative response. Of course, you have to start with a clear problem and opportunity statement. What are you trying to solve and achieve? And you must be very clear that this is my focus, and this is where I have to find a solution for the problem which has been actually put across before the people who are discussing about and who are actually doing the ideation. So that is where I think you as a leader have to give room for your people to move in a very systematic way to make sure that you are focusing on the creative response, and also categorizing your ideas. So group your ideas based on feasibility, impact, and alignment with your goals. Because if you are not doing that, then you are bound to go haywire, because alignment is the most important thing when you are doing the ideation. So I'm sure all of you will take a cue from that and try and implement in your day-to-day life. Now, scoring and choosing solutions is another very important aspect. So once categorize, score these ideas, and identify the best solution and a combination of solutions to implement, because it's all about solution finding. So if you are doing ideation, be very clear about how you are going to choose the solutions. And that is what I think, Thomas, is the most important aspect of ideation.
Oh, that's fantastic, Rajiv. Thank you. Ideation, of course, is where the innovation begins. And when done right, it can set the stage for everything that follows. So now let's move on to the next pillar, recognizing that your people, in order to be empowered, will need to be shown how to do each of these steps. So let's move on to the second pillar, which is application. And I'm going to ask Sunil to come on the stage and talk about his experiences here. Sunil, once we've got our ideas, how do we turn them into action? How do we ensure that ideation leads to real world application and real world results?
A great question, Thomas. I think Rajiv has rightly said that ideation is the first step, and it is very, very important to get the idea and find the right idea to solve the problem. But the second step is that once you are having the pool of great ideas, then the next step is to make it happen. Because without action, idea is just an imagination. That's all. So the application is very, very important, and I will say that application is the bridge between thought and action. It turns innovative ideas into tangible outcomes. It is where value is created. So I will say that I will define this that there are five steps when the application comes, and the first step is the project proposal. So you have to define the clear problem statement, what problem you are solving, what opportunity statement is there in that problem. So you have to define that what problem you are solving. You have to define that why you are doing it. You have to define that if this idea is scalable or not. You have to define that will it add value? Will it add substantial value? If you have the answer of all these questions, then you go ahead. Then the second step is analysis and planning. So you have to identify the root cause of the problem. You have to find out the steps needed to improve the solution. And the third is communication. Sometimes there are ideas, somebody is working on that, but it is not communicated in the team. That is a big problem sometimes. So what exactly my leader has to do, the leader has to communicate it to the team members. So every team member is prepared, every team member is aware, and they understand that what will change, how it will change, and why it will change. So mentally they are prepared for that. So this step is very, very important, the communication step. The next step is, of course, implementation planning. So once you are having the ideas, you have to analyze it, you have to define the problem statement, you have to communicate it to the team. Then the next step is the planning of that, how you will implement it. So execution is key here, and the entrepreneur or the organization must believe in 360-degree feedback. Believe me, I have come across that is a link, that is an open link in the organization. They don't have the feedback system, and they don't have the closed loop of the feedback system. And what happens in the absence of that, you are unable to correct the things when you are developing something. So that is very, very important. And when you are having that closed feedback loop, then you are getting the feedback and you use the feedback loop to make the adjustment quickly and correctly. In case of failure also, it should be treated that it is not a failure, it is a wasted opportunity to redefine the thing and come out with a right and good product or good offering which will add value at the customer's place. Once you have done all those things, you have developed your offering, you have developed your product, then the next step comes is that how to scale it and how to increase the value out of it. So that is called post-implementation gain. Because ultimately, whatever idea, whatever exercise we are doing, the aim of every exercise is that we have to create value, we have to we have to turn into the businesses, we have to turn into the growth journey what we are aiming for. So the next step is that how you are utilizing this growth, how you are utilizing this new ideas into your growth. So the solution is at place, then you have to look additional opportunities to enhance or expand the impact of this idea. So that is also very, very important. So if if any organization is having this well-defined system, then believe me, as you have rightly said, Thomas, that there is an opportunity to increase 2% to 4% every month revenue, and that is quite achievable. And that is where regenesis adds value within the organization. And for this, we work with the entrepreneur and directors and CEOs for achieving that. Over to you, Thomas.
Okay, Sunil, thank you very much. There you've laid out a very clear and actionable roadmap in those few steps. Implementation is where we begin to see the tangible benefits of innovation. But there's one more critical element, turning that innovation into measurable contribution. And the third pillar is enabling the contribution. And I'm going to ask both of you, Rajiv, first. So let's talk about contribution, Rajiv. From a board's perspective, because that's your specialty, what must organizations avoid and what should they do proactively to ensure innovation translates into real contribution to the bottom line?
Thank you, Thomas, for allowing me to intervene here because board management and managing the boards has been my forte all these 30, 35 years. So, from the board perspective, there are key pitfalls to avoid because board is very sensitive towards certain areas, and board has a lot of responsibility to make sure that all the contributions are monitored and they are actually looked at by the company. So the board should actually make sure that they don't stifle innovation and there should not be any excessive bureaucracy because if too many layers of approval are there, they can kill a good idea and it may not see the light of the day. So I think the board has to make sure that there is a culture of innovation within the organization, and that should be encouraged. So sometime the overall environment is such that people get scared of implementing their own ideas. They feel that oh, I may have a challenge here or there. So it is better that they should be allowed to have that innovation in all the aspects of their implementation for looking at the contribution. Second most important thing is don't create an environment that encourages risk taking and reward creative contributions because because if a lot of risk taking is there, that also can lead to some accidents. So so you have to create a risk taking attitude, and but measurable one, where you actually reward the creative contribution. And if somebody has taken a risk but they have actually contributed, so that should be highlighted and encouraged. Of course, from proactive standpoint, to ensure that there is a clear pathway for ideas to be tested and implemented. This might involve dedicated innovation teams uh, or special budgets which are required for that. Don't ignore feedback. Continually refine processes based on what's working and what is not working. And that is where I think you can actually make sure that the contributions are very effectively monitored. And from the board perspective, I think these are the important aspects. Over to you, Thomas.
Okay, that's great, Rajiv. What I'm hearing is try and keep the board out of the way and do what it can to enable the kind of core process to take place. So they're really important lessons. Thank you. And Sunil, what about from a CEO and top leadership perspective? What are the must avoids and what are the must do's? What you must enable? So Sunil.
Yeah, Thomas, from the top leaders' viewpoint, I think the approach is similar, more or less, but with some nuance, and I will suggest each six, seven steps to the leadership. The first important steps, in my view, is don't allow the culture of fear. Because I have come across when you have not created the environment for, you are accepting the ideas, and you have created an environment that where people are, afraid, people are basically not open, they are not coming with the idea. So that is basically killing the organization. And I will say, if that is the culture you have created within the organization, you are killing the organization. It will be very difficult to survive in the long run. So the first important is don't allow a culture of fear. Employees need to feel safe to express his view, express his ideas, and even if that is unconventional or risky, that should be also welcome. So every idea is good idea until and unless it is accepted. So let people should open and you welcome all the ideas. So that is the first step. The second step is do visible support. Again, the leadership role and CEO's role is very, very important. It should be very, very visible to all employees that yes, this is the organization. Whatever idea you will bring, whatever idea you will bring on the table, that will be accepted, that will be welcomed by the management. So, and that support should be visible to the people. And if you're doing it, if you're demonstrating it, believe me, you will find a lot of ideas from each and every department. Because I believe the person who is working day and day night for any department, he is the best person to give the ideas. It is not that CEO is having only the idea. CEO has to create that culture. CEO has to ensure that he should support those people who is bringing the idea. That is the job of the CEO. The job of CEO is not to bring in the idea. The people are mistaken that CEO will come and CEO will bring the new ideas. No, one person can't do everything. The role of CEO and leadership is to manage the thing and manage the things in better way. They have to ensure that they are having right people at the right place, and those people has to come with ideas. And CEO has to demonstrate that yes, we will support, we will handhold to those people, we will recognize those people. That is the role of CEO. So the second important is visible support. And why I'm insisting in this word visible support, that should be visible to everybody. It should not that somebody come in your chamber and you got this idea and you have started working it without any visibility within the team, within the group. So that should not happen. It should be visible. The third important is celebrate the innovation. If you have done something, let us take this opportunity to celebrate that and recognize, reward to those who brings those new ideas. And if you're doing this, you are sending a message within the team members that yes, if I will do something like this, then it will get recognized by the management. I will get rewarded. And believe me, human is basically always hungry for the recognition and reward, appreciation. These are the terms which is, not monetary benefit, but these are the things which motivates the employee most. The next point I will say that do invest in training. The creating ideas is also sometimes needs some types of training. So how to create that? How to bring those things in clear terms. So do train your people. Spend some money in the training part and encourage them that yes, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, the world is moving in this direction. You should start thinking in this direction. So if you are doing that, this means you are linking your team members with the new technology, new thought process, and then they will bring better ideas. The next important, I will say that don't forget to measure the impact of the idea. This happens again and again because we have implemented that thing and we all are happy. But at the same time, if you're not measuring it, if you are not measuring the impact of this, you are not knowing that how powerful this idea is. And then the person who has done it, he will be not rewarded and he will not be recognized in that way. So every idea, every innovation that impact should be measured. That is also a role of CEO, the role of leadership. Don't leave this idea as it is. Don't leave this innovation as it is. So must measure the impact. The again important thing is that tie this innovation directly to the key performance indicator. As we all know in the corporate, key performance indicator is very, very important term. And every employee is having the KRA. So if you are linked this innovation with this key performance indicator, that is visible in each and every meeting. As Rajiv has rightly said, in the board meeting, these are the parameters that should be visible. Board members doesn't have enough time, but that visibility should be there. So linking that is very, very important. And next important, I will say that you ensure that innovation contribute to the bottom line. As I have told before also, that we all are working for the top line and bottom line. That is important in the business. So we have to ensure that whatever we have done, that is having the ability to add in the bottom line. And how? If you have done something innovative that has improved your product quality and then increased the sales, then you have added in the bottom line. You have improved the customer experience, you are retaining the customer, you are adding new customer, then you are adding in the bottom line. If you have improved your approach and service support to the customer, then you have reduced the cost of service, you are adding in the bottom line. If you have increased the value addition of your offering, then what you have done, then you can charge a little more from the customer, and then again you are adding to the bottom line. So whatever we are doing to increase our top line and bottom line. So this idea and this implementation should go through these 7, 8 steps, and not even a single step to do this. And then if you are implementing it, then you can say that this is a foolproof system at place. And then whatever we are talking 2% and 4%, believe me, this is peanuts. This is 100%, 100% you can achieve it. Over to you, Tom.
Absolutely, Sunil. Thanks very much for all of that. Some really good pointers in there. When the simple lesson is when organizations enable their employees to contribute effectively, and we have to teach them all this stuff. We have to teach them brainstorming or root cause analysis and project management. It's worth every moment you spend doing it. The result is a powerful engine for growth. And the best part, when you get this right, innovation and contribution are guaranteed. And so is growth of the bottom line. So what's the secret to mastering these 3 pillars? For us, we deal with this and a number of other key components within Regenesis. A simple, fast-acting and impactful management system that overlays your current role and organization. It fills the performance gaps and unlocks that extra 1 to 2% revenue growth every month. Imagine where your organization and your career could be 10 years from now if you started using that kind of process today. It's designed to create a bespoke model for you for building a system of impact, driving growth and innovation in your role and in your organization. And the beauty of it is it's all built organically from within, tailored to your unique challenges and opportunities. So if this resonates with you, and I'm sure it does, why wait? We're offering Regenesis to every manager, executive, director of every kind, and organization of every kind, size, and type. So here's the deal. First come, first served, of course. We're providing free training sessions to those who act now. The offer is, of course, limited, and slots always fill up fast. So if you want to get started, I'd say get started today. Don't wait another 10 years to unlock your full potential. You may have missed the boat there. Reach out to any of us on LinkedIn and just ask for your free Regenesis training. Our contact details are right there on the screen, information at the bottom of the video. So our dream outcome, we want everyone to be wealthier, healthier, and have really fabulous relationships with the people and the world around them. We are here to help you and your organization in India achieve all you're capable of being. So I would say, don't let this opportunity pass you by. For goodness sake, take action now and start moving towards your dream outcomes. So above all, thank you for joining us today. We're excited to hear from you and help you start your Regenesis journey. And remember, the future is yours. It's time to grab it now. Prem, over to you. Prem?
Thank you. I was on mute. Sorry about that. Thank you for that amazing session there. We were talking about empowering employees to contribute much more. And as Thomas rightly said, we are there available. We are having. You can reach us on the links on LinkedIn, which are scrolling down on your screen. We are reachable on these. Sunil, Rajiv, Thomas, and myself are available for any of the questions, any of the pointers that you want to look at how Regenesis works for us, and which we can make it work for you as well. And with this, we would like to conclude our session. We will come back with another topic of Regenesis coming up on next week, same time, Wednesday on 11th of September. That's on the topic of adaptable, responding, and evolving to change. And we will come back to you again on that session next week, same time, 6:30 p.m. Our next session for the Power of Knowing Forum's next session is about leadership in the age of observability, turning insights into action tomorrow at same time, 6:30 p.m. See you then. Looking forward for you people. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Thomas, for being part of the session today. Hope this session has made some impact on and adaptability of the topics that we discussed today. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sunil. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Prem.
Thank you,
Extraordinary
Prem.
privilege.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Prem.